Hi, everyone. Really happy to be here for obvious reasons. So find your comfortable seat where you don't feel distracted by any body part screaming at you, and you can breathe. So just to make that transition onto your seat, into this room, take 5 breaths. Easy, not complicated, just 5 breaths with the purpose of bringing the frequency down. And meet yourself where you are. If your breath is shallow, welcome it with the intention of paying more attention, which will, just by that act alone, deepen, lengthen, and fill. And after the next breath, it's always important to just like make a note. That's another internal action, a checking in to see if your frequency did come down. If it didn't, no big deal. So I found myself attracted to understanding and learning chakras and mudras. That was something that I had an interest in a long time ago, but never took the time. So now that I have the time, I've been delving into it and just scratching the surface because I regard this stuff as like contexts within which to almost add your own interpretation of the suggestions. So we've gone through the root chakra, which includes the mudras of grounding, calming, fearlessness, surrender, and centering, not in that order, so don't do that. And now we're going to move on to the next one, which is the sacral chakra, which all of this stuff like corresponds with the teachings of yoga and meditation. So the center, as I learned it, was 2 inches below the navel and 1 inch in. It's a really nice visual to use. So the sacral chakra is approximately in that area. And the sacral chakra, simply put, relates to inner dwelling place. And of course, you can add your own interpretation of all of this and what it means to you, because that's most important. And the first mudra in that category is fluidity. And that's why I didn't want to tell you before, because we're going to kind of focus this practice on fluidity, what that means to you, and I'm going to teach the class according to what that means to me. So the mudra for fluidity, some of these are very simple and beautiful, is just place your right hand on top of your left, and if the 4 fingers that are placed one on top of the other are held tight. And then just kind of flare your thumbs out so it looks like this. And the point of this is to direct your energy away from the sacral chakra or your abdomen. And again, it's context, so meant to be interpreted. So we're just going to take another 5 breaths, placing your hands in the mudra of fluidity. You can repeat the words as a mantra, as a mantra. Or you can explore what that means to you. Have a conversation, interact. In a way, you're interacting with your being, which is what we covered on Monday. And everybody's being is individual to them. And that's another practice. So as usual, my counting sucks. Let's do about 3 more breaths. and open your eyes if they're closed and come back into the room and um, pay attention to what that meant to you, where that may have taken you, and what it meant to me for today. Everything has multiple meanings. For today, it means we're going to move, and I'm going to kind of stick with stuff for the most part that you know. So it's like choreography, and you don't have to do too much thinking. We can do more moving. So whichever seat you're in, stay there because I want it to be comfortable. And take a moment to find your pelvic floor, allow your spine to rise, and feel that lift off. It's a light action, which will add to your movement experience. So with the fingertips touching the floor and just, again, taking a nice deep breath, start rolling your shoulders around. And if you can, make it fluid rather than stiff, right? So we're going to go 5 in one direction and then reverse. So with that idea of a wave, think of it as a wave. And then when we come back to the center, you're just going to float the arms up, touch at the top, and float your arms down. And as you're doing that, make your arms really heavy. That way you can feel your shoulder blades sliding down. And if you can't, eventually you will. As you breathe into this, you can coordinate the breath. Inhale up, exhale down. We'll do one more because I lost count. Bring your fingertips onto the tops of your shoulders and make a bigger circle. Big circles with the elbows. 2, and then the other way. So there is no other purpose than to move your body. When we release the fingertips down to the floor, we're going to float them up to a V. And again, drop the shoulders because we're going to get a little distracted. This is about the hands. Clench the fists, open. So as you clench, it's tight. As you open, it's as wide can be. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Keep the fingers wide, circle the wrists. And try to include your fingers with a little bit of a wave action, right? And then we're going to go the other way. Big circle, no right or wrong, just to move and to feel and to have an internal experience as well as an external experience. Extend your arms out, bring the hands together, interlock the fingers, turn the palms up. Check in with your shoulders, let them slide down. Look up, draw your hands or your arms back so that you feel the tops of your shoulders and a slight bend in the middle, top, or back. So we're going to go through this. Take an exhale here. It's a cat variation. Bring it up, inhale, another cat variation. I'm going to bring it up for 3. Try to go further down towards your tailbone. Shoulders stay down. Inhale and exhale. And exhale. Let's release those arms. Bring them behind the back. Clasp the palms together. If you keep the heels of the hands together and the elbows soft, it becomes a heart opener, a lung opener, and you're literally breathing into the front of your lungs here. Inhaling and exhaling. So we're going to release that, bring the arms up, turn the palms again, draw the arms back. We're going to do a little circle. So circle 5 in one direction and include your body as it feels appropriate, right? And the breath. So sometimes you don't need me to tell you how to breathe. And then we're going to go the other way. Because just by doing this, you're impacting your lungs. And in a way, your body will tell you how to breathe. Nice. And extend as much as you can towards me and round into your lower back. Inhale, exhale, release. Another heart opener, front of the lungs. Breathe into it. Don't hold it still. Listen to your body. Take your cues from your body. I'm going to bring the arms up. As we bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee, take a twist. Breathe. Pull your tummy in. Inhale to the left. Use your abdominals to speed it up a little bit. Inhale to the right. Exhale. Inhale to the left. Exhale. Inhale to the right. Exhale. Inhale to the left. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. Corkscrew. Inhale. Corkscrew. And come on back to the center. Just going to do a little bit of neck. Keeping it really simple. This is pretty classic. Just going to drop your chin to your throat. It's a forward bend of the neck. Take your hands, palms open in the back of your head, elbows heavy, and just tuck your chin into your throat more and use the weight of the arms and the weight of the head to take you a little bit further into this forward bend. You're going to come on up, take the left hand on the right side of the head and take a really nice side bend of the neck. Aiming the right fingertips down, imagining 1,000,000 miles from shoulder to earlobe. And we're going to switch. And extend those fingertips away from the shoulder of the left hand and see if you can imagine miles and miles between your shoulder and your earlobe. Nice. So whichever seat you're in, we're going to come into our easy seat. And again, I'm sticking with stuff that we're familiar with so that we can just move through it. With the right foot in front of the left, let me move back a little bit more. Take a twist to the left, right hand to left knee. Picture that corkscrew again. The range of your twist depends on the depth of your core, so that's the signal to use your core. Bring that left arm up. Take a beautiful side bend. Side bend starts at the left butt, and it goes through that left side, out through the left fingertips. Coming back to the center, switch. Twisting to the right. Inhale, exhale. Visualize your corkscrew. Bring that back arm up. Leaning over to the left. The side bend starts with the right butt out through the right fingertips. So don't worry about your seat now. We're just going to speed this up a little bit for 3 rounds. So as you bring the arms up, you're going to twist to the left. Stay deep. Bring the back arm up and side bend to the right. Bring both arms up. We're going to twist to the right. Bring that back arm up and overhead to side bend to the left. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale to the left. Last round. Back arm up, side bend to the right. Last one to the right, twist. Arm up. Nice. Find your way to your tabletop. Again, the focus of this practice is fluidity, so we want to think mostly about moving, about being fluid, about flowing, not about judging, not about stopping, not about making sure that you're doing the right pose, because we basically all know this. So we're going to do 5 cats and cows. Inhale to your cow and exhale to your cat. Again, for fluidity, inhale, exhale. Send your attention to your spine that's moving. Send your attention to your breath that's flowing. It's flowing from an inhale to an exhale. We'll do 2 more. And 1 more. So this cow transitions to a cat. I'm going to inhale to the cow and sit back on the heels for the cat. Come forward, inhale, back on the heels, exhale. Got 3. And 2. And 1. Nice. Stay in your child's pose. Shift back and forth. So it's all part of the moving focus. Kind of stop in the center. Walk your fingertips over to the right. And again, this side opener is starting from the left butt. So shift it over to the left, back to the center, and over to the left. The side bend is initiated or started from the right butt as you sit it over to the right. Come back to the center and back to all fours. Just make sure, take a second to check for your alignment. Alignment matters. Right foot is going to walk way behind, toes turned under, finding the corner of the right heel. Send all your attention to that corner and reach it as far back as you can until you feel your Achilles in your calf. Then you're going to walk that right foot over to the left. Look over the left shoulder. You just opened up that side space, so just breathe into it. Coming back to the center. This time you need your alignment. We're going to lift the right foot off the floor. Swivel the left foot over to the left and shift into our side plank. Stay here for a few breaths. And this is only if you care to do this. It's a challenge. I'm going to bend that right knee. See if you can grab onto that foot. And if you can, keep the right elbow soft and include your abdominals here. So sometimes when you have to hold a pose to kind of find your stability, the fluidity is the breath. So if nothing else, you want to latch on to that. I'm going to let it go. Come back to our frame structure. Take the left foot behind and reach through that heel, like that heel is going to touch that back wall. Staying here for a few breaths in order to really find that corner. I have to check this. So you're going to stay there and keep stretching. Walking that left foot over to the right. Keep reaching through the heel. Looking over the right shoulder. And breathe into that left side space again. Right? And again, when you hold a pose, turn your attention to your breath for your fluidity, for your flow, for your movement. Bring that foot back, shoulders over wrists again. Lift that left foot off. Swivel the right foot over to the right. Shift the weight. I know my back is to you. But it doesn't hurt to see it from all angles. Nice. If you choose to, we're going to bend that left knee, try to grab onto the ankle. And if you have it, soften the left elbow. So this is bringing that heart opener into the practice, and there's going to be opportunities to do this again. And let it go. Take a moment before we move on. Breathing into your child's pose and savoring the comfort of it. We'll move right into the sequence. So now the body is moving. So we're going to just let it come forward and through to upward facing. Over the toes to downward facing. I'm going to roll, wave it forward. Pay attention to the wave because I'm going to throw it in again and wave it back. Down to the knees, heart opens, sit back on the heels, compact pose. Inhale forward and through. This is a back bend. This is back bend season. Exhale to your dog. Wave it forward. Wave it back. Down to your knees. And back to your heels. With the breath. Inhale forward and through for your upward facing. Exhale to your dog. Exhale now becomes an inhale in your plank, and then your inhale becomes your exhale back into your dog. Down to the knees, come forward, inhale, back to your heels, exhale. We have two more. If you're starting to lose your breath, don't worry about it. Inhale. I would rather the fluidity be in your external actions, your body. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Wave it forward. Wave it back. Come down to your knees. And sit back on your heels. So we're going to stay here and try to recalibrate your breath if you lost your breath. If you didn't, just enjoy the comfort of the child's pose. And again, if moving back and forth helps you stay with the rhythm, with the pace, with the fluidity, keep moving. So as we turn those toes under and we sit the butt back, feel the bend into your toes, walk the fingertips back, hands in prayer, and take 3 breaths. And again, move your feet back and forth. Before we move on, we're going to come back to all fours. Isolate the shoulders. So first you want to make sure that they're sliding down your back. And then we're just going to take or allow the shoulders to slide up and the spine slides down, and the shoulders slide down and the spine slides up. 4 more of those. Only thing I want to caution you against is letting those shoulders creep up to your ears. So you want to make sure that you're sliding down your back. Other than that, just play with it. And last one. Come back to a neutral spine, round your spine, and we're going to roll the ribs around for 5 in one direction. This 2, if it's not quite working for you and you feel a little awkward, just go with the awkwardness, but you can also picture clothes going around in a clothes dryer. That might help. And then we're going to go in the other direction, right? So we got 2. And sometimes we really worry about keeping the elbows soft and all of that. But here, just try to let your body enjoy and go with the flow. Sorry. So here, we're just going to circle those hips around. Just a big circle with the hips in one direction. And this too feels really nice to add all the peripheral body parts. And take it to the other side. You know, sometimes moving the body helps to shake off tension and stress, and with everything the way it is, we can kind of do it for the purpose of that. And then sit back on your heels. I'm going to turn those toes under and find your way to a hang. Feet or hips width apart. First one, just hang, play with the weight of the arms, play with the weight of the head. You can shake your hands out. I kind of need that. And take a nice deep abdominal roll up. Really pull the tummy in on the exhale as you come up. Let's cross. Left leg over right. Float the arms up. Draw the arms back. Drop the shoulders down. Turn the right palm up to the ceiling and take a really nice full body side bend. See if you can feel it through the heel of the left hand all the way down to the left foot. I'm going to do 2 of these. Switch. 2 on each side. Switch your feet. Up and over. If this is challenging your balance, pay attention to your feet. Reach through the heel of the hand all the way down to the right foot. Bring it back and switch. Switch hands. Up and over to the left. Keep reaching. You can shift your hips over if you feel comfortable with that. Bring it back. Switch. Up and over. Try to feel the right toes all the way out through the right fingertips. And bring it back. Uncross your legs. I have to go this way. Turn the palms up. Aim towards the ceiling. Use your abdominals. Back bend. Hand underneath the chin. Long spine. So we're going to come halfway like that. And feel the crown of the head going forward. Feel the tailbone going back. Elbows are reaching out right and left. And take it all the way down. So you're just going to place those feet parallel, middle of the heel behind the second and third toe. I'm going to take a walk forward, which will lift your heel slightly off the floor and make a big crease in your ankles. That's what it's for. I'm going to walk it back, shift the weight onto the heels, lift the toes slightly, aim chest for thighs, deep forward bend. Take it forward 2 more times. Big crease in the ankle, finding the corner of those heels. Walking it back. Shift the weight. Aim chest for thighs. And just allow your body to respond to the change of the shape. 1 more time. That's all the poses are. Big crease in the ankles. You can actually, even though the heels aren't touching, you can aim them down and walk it back. Shift the weight. Aim chest for thighs. Very deep fold, which is kind of what we're looking for. And we're going to walk it out to a dog. Do a few things in these dogs. So did a lot of finding the corners of the heels, so we're going to stick with that a little bit. And we're going to shift the weight back and forth to keep that idea of motion. So you can shift your weight from hand to hand. You can shift your weight from foot to foot. Use your breath. Walk your feet a little bit closer to your hands in order to get a better crease in those ankles. So some of you have this as part of your practice and some of you don't. You shift the weight onto the right hand. I'm going to do it to the left so you can see. Shift the weight slightly onto the left hand, not too much because you don't want to disturb your center. And either just lift the right hand off or bring it onto your back. If you bring it onto your back, go right to the corners of the heels and those will anchor and stabilize you. Stay here and keep that left elbow soft and see if you can find the outer edge of the armpit. Bring that right hand back down.
Shift the weight ever so slightly to the right and take the left hand off. At the same time, again, I want everybody to meet themselves where they are, respect your edge, respect your comfort, and bring it back. Take a nice fold into the middle to upper back and find the outer edges of the armpits. So we want to really use the strength of the upper body here, but not come forward in your shoulders. We're going to float the right leg up. And again, some of you, if this is enough for you, please just play with that and don't hyperextend into your knee. If you have this in your practice, this three-legged dog, take it to the depth that you're comfortable taking it to. I like to open it out like this and fire at my glute. Inhale, exhale, bring it down, floating so we stay light. And at any point, if this is too much, just come down to your child's pose and meet us wherever you want to catch up. Nice. So come back to a regular, no, I'm sorry, keep your feet a little closer to your hands. And I know some of you will have to come down, so let's come down for a second. The next one is a little bit more challenging. So come back to a semi-tight dog. Shift the weight onto the left hand and take the right hand over to the outside of the left ankle and see if you can take a little twist here. Using your breath. And for those of you who have it in your practice, it feels really good. For those of you who are just learning it, please be kind. Don't forget to use your abdominals. And don't forget to slide into the knuckles rather than sitting heavy in the heels of the hands. Bring it back. You can come down to your child's pose or you can take 3 waves here. So we're going to inhale, wave it forward. Exhale, wave it back, inhale, forward, exhale, back. One more, inhale, forward, and exhale, back. Let's take a second to regroup. Come on down to your knees. If you're already in the child's pose, do your version of it, whatever you want to do. I like to rock back and forth. I'm going to throw this in as a pretty challenging version of a dog that incorporates what we just did. And again, you can do what we've already done to practice those, or we're going to find our way back to our dog. You step the left foot onto the mat with the toes turned out. I hope you can see my foot. And we're going to lift that right leg off the floor. Shift the weight into the right arm. Bend that right knee and see if you can do this version of a dog. And if you can't, please just do what we were practicing a second ago, or just whatever you choose to do. And bring it down. You're going to step onto the right, float the left leg up, grab onto that ankle, and breathe. So you can see this is a combination of what we were just doing, and it can be something to aspire to, or not. And again, you can go down to a child's pose, or you can do 3 waves. And last one, bring it down, child's pose. I'm going to let you guys take 5 breaths in your child's pose. So find your way up to Tadasana. standing mountain pose.
We throw our balances in here. Balances are very centering. You really have to concentrate. You have to be concentric in order to sustain your balance. So we're gonna, with that in mind, know that you're bringing it all back to the center. We did a lot of moving. So moving pulls you out to the edges. We're gonna take this interlude to pull it all back to the center. So we're gonna shift the weight onto the left foot. There's no rhyme or reason which foot I do things on, FYI. So classic tree pose can either be done this way, which is absolutely fine, on the calf, so ankle, calf, never the knee, and there we go. Okay. So as you can see, I'm playing around with my balance. It happens to be my foot, so I'm concentrating on my foot. I can't even bring my hands together yet. And that might be as far as I can go. A lot of wobbling going on. But it's just information. And I'm having a conversation with my foot. So once I can get that kind of understood, I can press the right foot into the left leg and the left leg into the right foot and perhaps create a little more concentric action or coming into the center. And in the meantime, this leg is getting very strong. And we're going to switch. So we're sticking with the classic balance. Same thing. We can stay on the ankle. We can go to the calf, never the knee. And right there, for me. May not be for you. So you might find one foot is less challenged than the other. In my case, my right is a little bit less wobbly. Doesn't mean I don't have to concentrate. So I just love that idea. Balancing is a form of concentration. So I'm not paying attention. Okay, I'm going to try to do this one more time. I want everybody to consider this too. A lot of misunderstanding with balances. I like to think of balances using the visual of a spinning top, which means it's in motion, total motion. It's moving so fast that you can't even see it in motion. So that way, we kind of embrace the wobbliness, which is motion. And then if this side is a little bit more stable than the first time, you can bring your arms up. And if you're sticking this, just keep breathing into your center to keep reinforcing. Bring it back and switch. So again, if that spinning top works for you, same way we kept fluid in our mind as we opened the class, keep that visual of spinning top. And that is a very basic way of connecting mind and body. Often it seems so esoteric and kind of incomprehensible, but when you think of it that way, sure. Nice. And bring it down. So see if that brought your frequency down a little bit, see if that stabilized you, see if that brought you to the center a little bit. And, pardon my back, come to the front of the mat. We're going to do, this stuff it's kind of new, so less fluid, because you might have to think about what you're doing. But I'll talk you through it. We know this part. So we're going to inhale, bring the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive, come all the way down. I think we'll do 3 of those just to get that blood flowing again. And reverse the swan dive, come back. Inhale, bring arms in, out and up. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, reverse that swan dive. Again, if you know this, please just enjoy it. And fold forward. And bring it back. And back to the heart. Move right into it again. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Fingertips down to the floor. And extend the spine to start. That's an inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to step that left foot back and drop the left knee. Coming to classic half monkey. And stay here. Just to play around a little bit. And one last time. Let's pull it up from the quad. So I'm deciding which variation to do here. Let's bring the hands behind the back and clasp the palms together. Just fold forward until that shoulder rests on top of that. So the right shoulder just rests on top of the right knee. Just want to get into that hip fold. That's the purpose of doing this. So you want to stay in that hip fold and take the arms, take the right shoulder inside the right knee. Some of you may want to get blocks here. So I'm going to give you a chance to go get blocks. And you can place the blocks on the mat inside your right foot because we're going to try to get elbows down like this. Okay. I'm going to get blocks just to show you. So if you have two blocks, you can place them here or you can place them here. So we can get those elbows down to the floor or on the blocks and take a minute. Very important to kind of breathe into the parts of the body that are targeted, right? So in this case, it's the right hip fold. Using the breath. Nice. I'm going to stay here and turn the right foot out. Keep the left elbow on the floor. And just take a twist. You can take this right arm and just place it on your knee and take a little twist here. I'm going to turn those back toes under and lift the knee. So this is also a side plank variation, similar to what we did earlier, a little more challenging. And if you want to bring this arm up, you can bring this arm up. And you can breathe. Nice. And feel the lift by kissing the floor with the left elbow. And then we're going to drop that knee and immediately bend it. And see if you can grab onto that ankle. If you can't, just go to the variation of this that felt safe. And breathe and open. Inhale and exhale. You might feel your left quad here. I'm going to let that go. Come on back. Turn the foot. Turn the back toe under. Lift that knee and step it up. Fold forward. Reverse your swan dive. And bring the hands to the heart. This time I'll be facing you, so it'll be a little different. Inhale, bring the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, float the right leg up. Exhale, we're going to step that right foot back and drop the knee. Make whatever adjustment. Yeah, this is right. No, I'm not going to be facing you. I am going to be facing you. Okay. And bring those arms up. These are the problems of this virtual experience. To like recalibrate. Inhale, exhale. Bring the hands behind the back. So here we're breathing in the front of the lungs again, getting that nice shoulder. You might feel yourself automatically going forward. Left shoulder on left knee. It's just the destination. Just to heat up
your left hip fold. Release those fingertips, and again, use your blocks if you have to bring the elbows down. Take a minute. This is why I don't like to move through these really quickly, because I want you to take a minute to kind of assess what part of your body is being targeted. Turn that left foot out. Keep the right elbow down on the floor, hand, fist, whatever works for you. Take a little twist. You can keep the hand here to twist, or you can bring the arm up. And at the same time, you can lift that back knee. So with all of these poses, you want to check in and make sure that there's one line from the elbow that's on the floor all the way out through the fingertips of the left hand. Nice. If this is enough for you, stay here, play with it. Don't play with it. Sit back in your child's pose. If you want to, you're going to drop that right knee, take a bend, and open it out. And if you do open it out, make sure that left elbow is soft. Also, sometimes we don't know what to do with our head, so the head stays in line with the neck and the spine. And this is specifically, this particular shape is specifically to fire up the quads. Nice. And bring it back. Turn the foot. Step it up. Fold forward. Reverse. And back to the heart. So one more. Hands at the heart. Inhale, bring the arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend. We're going to step it back to a lunge. So lunges are clearly more challenging than half monkeys, that I like to call them half monkeys. And again, you can always drop your knee in these. So I just want to bring these lunges in. So that needs that corner of that heel. And then we're going to bring the arms up. Inhale and exhale. So to keep this a little easier, just fold forward, bring the fingertips onto the floor, and turn the back foot so that you can find yourself in warrior one. So do whatever you need to do to stabilize your shape. Again, we're going to bring those hands behind the back, clasp the palms together, and fold forward until the shoulder is on the knee. We're going to release those hands, bring them forward, feel the hip crease on the right, walk the fingertips over to, in this case, it'll be like 10 o'clock. Extend the tailbone back and extend the heart and the crown of the head forward. We're getting into that SI joint. Check in with the right knee, make sure it isn't dropping in towards the center, rather it's coming out towards its own side. So here, you're gonna have a choice, guys. I'm gonna walk the fingertips back, and you're welcome to just keep the right hand here. You can press it against the right leg and take this beautiful pose. If you want to take up the challenge of a bind, you're going to drop that shoulder inside that knee, take the right hand behind your back, and see if you can grab on. Breathe. And if you want to just play with it, play with it. If you want to actually do it, do it. If you do it, extend the hands away from the shoulders. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. Make sure you find the outside of the left foot. Bring everything back. Step the left foot up to the right. And reverse your swan dive. And back to the heart. One more. Inhale. This is part B of one more. Extend. Right leg steps back to a lunge. Bring the arms up. If bringing the arms up is too much, keep the hands on here. Always use your blocks too. And breathe. So we're going to fold it forward, bring the fingertips down, step onto the back foot, Make whatever adjustments you need to make and bring it up to warrior one. Bring the hands behind the back, clasp the palms together. Again, opening up your heart and breathing in the front of your lungs. Bring left shoulder onto left knee. It's just the destination. Release the hands, walk them forward. Take a moment. Identify, target. The left hip fold. Walk fingertips over to 2 o'clock. If you're there, sit the hips back, tailbone back, heart forward, crown of the head forward. Left knee can go out to its own side just a little bit. Don't exaggerate it. If you choose to do this twist, do this twist. If not, drop the left shoulder inside the left knee. Bring the hand behind the back. Bind. And breathe. One more breath. Nice. Release it. Step it up. Clearly, this is my favorite way of getting down to the mat. Bring heels together, toes apart. Come down to your ballet squat. Sit your hips back. So this feels really good on your SI joint, which is actually in that sacral chakra area. Just saying. And then we're going to bring our butt down to the floor and go right into our boat, which we did the other day. I guess I must like it because I want to do it again. So we're going to be here, and your choice how far you want to go with this. For 5 breaths. Release. Makes it a little harder, and it requires that you really pull your tummy in a lot in order to activate your core or your abdominal muscles. You can come out of this and do that another round, or you can take it like this. If you can't see me, I went into a split. Whoops. Like that. And if you're able to find your little kind of point of contact there, make sure you're pulling your tummy in, make sure your elbows are soft. And here we go to the fun part. So I'm going to turn sideways again. Let's go into a ball like this. And we're just going to roll up and down for 5. So talk about fluidity and feeling silly, which is helpful in the quest for fluidity. So we're going to roll for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then find your way down to the mat. Okay. You're going to stay here for a breath or two. Kind of rock back and forth. You can roll on your back. So circle, if you do the circle, do one direction and then the other direction. And when we bring the feet down to the floor, and feet are hips width apart, knees are lined up with the feet, let's just, I'm going to move my hand so you see. So we're going to exaggerate a cow and then exaggerate a cat, right? So for 5, we're just going to swing the pelvis. We have 3, and 2, and 1. Come back to a neutral spine. This suggests that we will do this way. So bend the elbows. You can make a fist. Doesn't have to be a fist, whatever's comfortable for you, but I want everybody to press the elbows into the floor in order to lift the hips up to a bridge, right? We did a lot of hip creases. So I want everybody to pay attention, send love to your hip flexors because we're going to do this like 5 times, right? So we're just going to press elbows down in order to lift the hips, knees move towards the wall in front of us and lower down to a natural curve of the spine. We're going to do 3. Feel your feet on the floor. We're going to do 2. And last one. Nice. So I'm going to make a suggestion here. These are all suggestions, so your choice whether you want to accept them or not. This is too hard. Just find your way to the end pose the way you know how. So we're going to lift the hips up. We're going to need those elbows pressing into the floor because we're going to take that right foot off, which means everything's going to get heavy and earthbound. So we want to keep lifting and aiming the heel up to the ceiling and use your abdominals. You have to use your abdominals here. You're going to take that right heel, cross it over the left knee. Drop the hips. Move that left foot over a little bit and drop the knees over to the right for our favorite twist. I know this is a crowd pleaser. This really benefits from contracting into your abdominals, which is a cylindrical wrap. One more breath. And bring it back. Come back to your starting point. And again, we're going to use those elbows pressing into the floor to lift the hips up. A slight shift in order to. Now we really have to rely on those elbows and feeling light. So we want to be heaven bound, not earth bound. Keep using your breath and your abdominals. One more breath. Left heel crosses over right knee. Drop the hips and then walk that right foot over to the right a little bit. And contract into your abdominals. And as you do that, you might feel a connection from the right knee all the way out through the right fingertips. Right arm comes overhead. And bring it back. And I think I'm going to close today with a little Shavasana. So you just set yourself up in a reclining position. I wasn't planning this, so I have to figure out the music I want to play for this. Hopefully you can hear it. So being in your Shavasana, let your feet turn out. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. Trying to find my yoga music. Here it is.
Celia's iPhone. Mobile device not found. Ready to pair.
Some more technology.
Celia's iPhone. Connected to Celia's iPhone.
Here we go. So as your body is reclined, and you now feel the weight of it. So often we're playing with lightness and lifting. In this case, you want to feel heavy and you want to feel earthbound. And you want to play with that root chakra. You want to play with calmness, centering, grounding, fearlessness because you're so supported, and surrender. So whatever zone you found yourself in, because everything is a state of mind, and the more aware we are of each little state of mind that we flow through, the better. So wherever you are, wherever it's taken you, breathe into it, welcome it, savor it. And know this is available to you at any moment. So as you find yourself slowly, in your own way, in a seated position, place your hands in prayer. We activated a lot of energy today, so just keep letting it inform you. Keep letting it flow and try to stay connected to it. It's your energy. Namaste.